Ontario is known for its breathtaking lakes, winding rivers, and pristine shorelines. Millions of people swim, kayak, fish, and paddle through these waters every single year without a second thought. But beneath those calm, glittering surfaces, a different world exists. One that most locals prefer not to talk about. Ontario's waters are home to creatures that are ancient, powerful, and in some cases, genuinely dangerous. Whether you are wading through a marshy shoreline, casting a line into a remote northern lake, or simply dipping your toes into what looks like a peaceful river, you may be sharing that space with something that could seriously ruin your day. Today, we are counting down the 9 most dangerous creatures lurking in Ontario waters, the ones that locals know about, but rarely mention. Get comfortable, stay curious, and maybe think twice before you go for that next swim. Starting things off at number 9 on our list is one of the most underestimated reptiles on the continent, the common snapping turtle. These prehistoric-looking creatures have inhabited Ontario's lakes, ponds, rivers, and wetlands for millions of years. They can weigh anywhere from 10 to 35 pounds or more, with massive heads, powerful hooked jaws, and a temperament that can shift from patient to explosive in less than a second. Snapping turtles are not aggressive in the water. They will typically swim away when a human approaches, but on land, especially during nesting season in early summer, they become an entirely different animal. Their bite force is extraordinary, and their jaws can cause serious lacerations. More than a few well-meaning people have lost fingers attempting to move one off a roadway. Ontario's wetlands are full of them, and encounters near shorelines are far more common than most people realize. At number 8, we have the muskellunge, or as anglers simply call it, the muskie. The muskie is Ontario's apex freshwater predator, a torpedo-shaped ambush hunter that can grow beyond 5 feet in length and exceed 70 pounds. With its razor-sharp teeth, lightning-fast strike, and predatory intelligence, the muskie is built entirely for one purpose: hunting. It lurks in weedy bays, rocky shorelines, and river systems, waiting motionless before exploding forward to engulf its prey whole. While attacks on humans are genuinely rare, they are not unheard of. Muskies have been known to strike at hands dangling over the sides of canoes, snap at swimmers in shallow bays, and occasionally latch onto fishing lures with enough force to drag equipment, and sometimes hands, underwater. Georgian Bay, Lake St. Clair, and the St. Lawrence River are prime muskie territory. If you fish Ontario, you already know to respect this fish. Number 7 brings us to another top-tier freshwater predator, the northern pike. If the muskie is the undisputed king, the northern pike is its equally aggressive and far more common cousin. Pike inhabit virtually every significant body of water in Ontario. They can reach lengths of 4 feet and beyond, armed with hundreds of backward-pointing teeth designed to ensure prey can never escape once seized. Pike are notoriously bold, territorial, and opportunistic. They have been documented attacking waterfowl, muskrats, and even small dogs swimming near shorelines. Incidents involving swimmers are rare but do occur, particularly in weedy, shallow water environments where pike feel territorial. A pike strike is no small event. Their teeth can slice through skin effortlessly, and their power is substantial for their size. Treating Ontario's rivers and lakes with respect means acknowledging that something this formidable is very likely nearby. At number 6, we encounter one of the most alien-looking and biologically bizarre creatures in Ontario's waters, the sea lamprey. The sea lamprey is not a fish in the traditional sense. It is a jawless, parasitic vertebrate that has existed on Earth for more than 360 million years, surviving multiple mass extinction events essentially unchanged. A full-grown adult can reach up to 3 feet in length, with a circular, tooth-lined suction mouth that it uses to bore into the flesh of host fish, draining blood and fluids over weeks or months. Sea lampreys invaded the Great Lakes through human-made shipping canals in the early 20th century and devastated native fish populations. While they primarily target fish, there are documented cases of lampreys attaching to human swimmers. The sensation, by all accounts, is deeply unpleasant, though healthy adults are rarely in serious danger from a single lamprey. Number 5 takes us to one of the most enormous and genuinely intimidating creatures in Ontario's freshwater ecosystem, the lake sturgeon. Lake sturgeon are living fossils. They have been swimming through Ontario's river systems and the Great Lakes for 150 million years. They can grow to over 8 feet in length and exceed 200 pounds. Some individuals are believed to live for more than 150 years, making them among the longest-lived freshwater fish on the planet. Lake sturgeon are not predatory toward humans by nature. They feed primarily on invertebrates along riverbeds. But their sheer size makes encounters genuinely startling and potentially hazardous. Anglers have reported being knocked from boats or knocked off their feet in shallow rivers when a large sturgeon surfaces or thrashes unexpectedly. They are massive, ancient, and surprisingly fast when alarmed. At number 4, we find the channel catfish, a species that most Ontario anglers regard with affection, but that newcomers consistently underestimate. Channel catfish in Ontario can reach substantial sizes. Specimens exceeding 30 pounds are not uncommon in the warmer river systems of southern Ontario, including the Grand River and the Thames River. Their primary defensive feature is not teeth. It is the sharp, venomous spines located on their dorsal and pectoral fins. A spine puncture from a large catfish delivers intense, burning pain that can last for hours and can lead to localized swelling, infection, and in rare cases, more serious complications. Catfish are also surprisingly aggressive when cornered or caught, and their thick, powerful bodies can make them extremely difficult to control safely. Every summer, emergency rooms in southern Ontario treat a steady stream of puncture wounds from catfish encounters gone wrong. Number 3 on our countdown introduces a creature that most people associate with the ocean, not the rivers and lakes of inland Ontario: the American eel. The American eel is one of the most remarkable and misunderstood aquatic animals in North America. These snake-like fish can grow to 5 feet in length and are covered in a thick layer of protective slime that makes them nearly impossible to grip. They inhabit rivers, streams, and lakes across a vast stretch of eastern Ontario, spending years in freshwater before undertaking one of the most extraordinary migrations on Earth, swimming all the way to the Sargasso Sea in the Atlantic Ocean to spawn. American eels are not typically aggressive toward humans, but their powerful, writhing bodies, sharp teeth, and extreme slipperiness make accidental encounters alarming. Eels have been known to bite when trapped or handled, and their jaw strength is significant for their size. At number 2, we step out of the water slightly to address a creature that calls Ontario's shorelines, wetlands, and rocky lakeshores home: the northern water snake. The northern water snake is Ontario's most common aquatic snake and is frequently, dangerously confused with the much rarer eastern Massasauga rattlesnake. Northern water snakes are non-venomous, but they are among the most aggressively defensive snakes on the continent. When threatened, they do not retreat. They flatten their bodies to appear larger, hiss loudly, and strike repeatedly without hesitation. Their bite introduces an anticoagulant compound in the saliva that causes wounds to bleed freely and heal slowly, making what appears to be a minor bite into a messy, uncomfortable medical situation. Northern water snakes are found in virtually every lake, river, and wetland in southern Ontario, and encounters with swimmers, paddlers, and beachgoers happen regularly throughout the warmer months. Before we reveal our number 1 creature, it is worth pausing to appreciate just how remarkable Ontario's aquatic ecosystem truly is. The sheer diversity of life, from prehistoric giants to parasitic survivors, speaks to millions of years of evolution in some of the most biologically rich freshwater environments on the planet. The Great Lakes alone represent more than 20% of the world's available surface freshwater. Thousands of species depend on these ecosystems, and so do millions of human beings. Understanding the creatures that share these waters with us is not about fear. It is about respect. The natural world operates on its own terms, and the more we understand those terms, the safer and richer our experiences in Ontario's outdoors become. Knowledge, as always, is the most powerful tool any person can carry into wild spaces. And now, at number 1, we arrive at the creature that earns the top spot on our list, the eastern Massasauga rattlesnake. Ontario is home to the only venomous snake found anywhere in the province, and it lives in closer proximity to human activity than most people realize. The eastern Massasauga is a small rattlesnake, typically ranging from 18 to 30 inches in length, with a thick body, a distinctive triangular head, and the iconic segmented rattle at the tip of its tail. It inhabits wetlands, meadows, rocky shorelines, and the margins between water and land, environments that also happen to be popular destinations for hikers, swimmers, and nature enthusiasts across Ontario. While the Massasauga's venom is hemotoxic, attacking blood cells and tissue, bites in humans are extremely rare and fatalities rarer still. However, envenomation requires prompt medical attention and can cause severe pain, swelling, tissue damage, and serious complications if left untreated. The eastern Massasauga rattlesnake is a threatened species in Ontario, protected under provincial and federal law. Their numbers have declined significantly due to habitat loss, road mortality, and human persecution. Most encounters end with the snake quietly retreating or freezing in place. They have no interest in wasting precious venom on a creature they cannot eat. Bites almost always occur when humans accidentally step on a snake, try to handle one, or invade its immediate space without warning. Awareness is the greatest protective factor. If you are hiking near Georgian Bay, the Bruce Peninsula, or the wetland-rich areas of central Ontario, learning to identify this snake, and giving it wide berth, is genuinely important safety knowledge that could save both your well-being and the life of a protected animal. So what should you do if you encounter any of these creatures in Ontario's waters and shorelines? The answer is almost always the same. Observe from a distance. Do not attempt to handle or disturb the animal, and give it the space it needs to move on its own terms. In the case of a snapping turtle attempting to cross a road, if you feel compelled to assist, grip the back of the shell near the tail end, never the front, and move it in the direction it was already heading. For any snake encounter, stepping back slowly and giving the snake a clear escape route is the single most effective response. In the case of a muskie or pike strike during fishing, treat any puncture wound seriously, clean it thoroughly, and seek medical attention if bleeding is significant or if the wound shows signs of infection. Let us take a moment to look at the broader picture of why these creatures matter beyond their capacity to alarm us. Every single species on our list plays a critical role in Ontario's freshwater ecosystems. Snapping turtles are essential scavengers that clean riverbeds and wetland floors. Muskie and northern pike regulate prey fish populations, keeping ecosystems in balance. Lake sturgeon, as bottom feeders, cycle nutrients through river systems in ways that benefit countless other species. Sea lampreys, for all their alarming qualities, are native to some of Ontario's coastal systems and were part of the natural order long before European settlement disrupted the balance. Even the American eel, now critically depleted, once served as a crucial link between oceanic and freshwater food webs across eastern North America. The disappearance of any one of these species would send ripples through the ecosystem that humans would eventually feel. Channel catfish deserve a particular mention in the context of ecosystem function. As omnivores, they consume everything from aquatic invertebrates to plant material to carrion, playing a significant cleanup role in river systems. Their populations thrive in warmer, slower-moving waters and serve as important prey for larger predators, including muskie and bald eagles. The northern water snake similarly serves as both predator and prey, consuming frogs, small fish, and invertebrates, while itself being hunted by herons, hawks, and larger mammals. These relationships form the intricate web that holds Ontario's natural environments together. Removing or significantly reducing any component of that web has consequences that science is only beginning to fully understand. Healthy ecosystems require all of their parts, including the parts that unsettle us. It is also worth acknowledging that many of these creatures are in far more danger from humans than humans are from them. Lake sturgeon were once so abundant in Ontario's rivers that early settlers reportedly complained about how difficult it was to navigate through them. By the mid-20th century, decades of overfishing, damming, and habitat destruction had pushed sturgeon populations to the brink of collapse. Today, they are listed as endangered in many parts of their range. American eels have experienced catastrophic declines across eastern North America. Their populations have dropped by more than 90% over the past century due to river damming, pollution, and overharvesting. The Massasauga rattlesnake is provincially threatened. Even muskellunge, once widespread, have seen significant range contractions due to habitat degradation and competitive pressures. Ontario's conservation community has made substantial efforts to reverse some of these trends. Sturgeon rehabilitation programs, lamprey control in the Great Lakes, and protected habitat designations for Massasauga rattlesnakes are among the initiatives that have produced measurable results in recent years. Public education remains one of the most powerful tools available. The more people understand what these animals are, why they matter, and how to coexist with them, the better the chances of long-term survival for both wildlife and the humans who share their territory. Fear based on ignorance drives persecution, knowledge drives coexistence, and coexistence is ultimately the only outcome that benefits everyone sharing this remarkable landscape. What strikes most people when they truly learn about Ontario's aquatic and shoreline predators is not fear, it is wonder. The fact that we live alongside creatures whose lineages stretch back hundreds of millions of years, who have outlasted ice ages and mass extinctions, who navigate extraordinary distances and accomplish biological feats that science is still unraveling, is nothing short of astonishing. The sea lamprey has watched continents drift. The lake sturgeon was already ancient when the first humans arrived on this continent. The Massasauga rattlesnake has refined its hunting and self-defense strategies over millions of years of evolutionary pressure. These are not monsters. They are monuments to the persistence and adaptability of life on Earth. So the next time you are standing on the edge of a dock on a warm Ontario evening, watching the light fade across the water, consider what might be moving through the depths below. Not with dread, but with genuine respect and curiosity. Every lake, every river, every marshy shoreline in this province is alive in ways that most of us barely register in our daily routines. The creatures on this list have been here far longer than we have, and with the right combination of awareness, conservation effort, and collective will, many of them will be here long after we are gone. Ontario's wild waters are not just scenery, they are living systems teeming with ancient, powerful, extraordinary life. And that, in the end, is what makes Ontario's outdoors so spectacularly worth exploring, protecting, and above all, understanding. Whether you are an angler, a swimmer, a paddler, a hiker, or simply someone who appreciates standing near moving water and feeling connected to something larger than yourself, these 9 creatures are part of the story of this land. They are not footnotes or threats to be eradicated. They are characters in an ongoing epic that began long before human history and deserves to continue long into the future. Go outside. Learn the names of the things that live in your waters. And remember, in Ontario, the wildlife is almost always more afraid of you than you are of it. Almost always.